le ciel bleu vole en silence.
Is the 3/4 length sleeve the new capri? Is it the new capri? I think it might just be the new capri. And is the sleeve length of your top or your dress making you look shorter or making you look broader? Today I'm going to tell you everything you ever wanted to know, and maybe some things you didn't want to know about sleeves, how to find flattering sleeves, everything you need to know to pick a sleeve length, a sleeve style that flatters your body. So welcome if you're new here. My name is Netta. I'm a personal stylist. I focus on working with women over 40, over 50, over 60, women just like you who really want to turn the wardrobes that they have into wardrobes that they love. So if that sounds like you, stay tuned. Definitely consider hitting the subscribe button at the end of this video. I would love to have you back. So I am also the founder of the Ageless Style program, where I have cheered over 5,000 women on to great style and to those wardrobes that really serve us every single day. Help us get out the door every single day feeling beautiful, feeling confident. So if you're new here, again, welcome. I am excited to talk about sleeves. In case you can't tell, I'm always excited at the beginning of my videos because I love talking about this stuff. But sleeves are something I get questions about a lot. And a few years ago, one of the women in my Ageless Style program, it was the best illustration. She bought a couple of different tops, and she has a fuller bust, a couple of different tops with different sleeve lengths. And the difference between how the sleeve length amplified or downplayed her bust was pretty remarkable. And often we don't think about things like that. And you may or may not want to downplay your bust at all, but whatever your goals are when it comes to flattery, whatever your goals are when it comes to how your clothes fit you and how they look on you, if you don't know the rules, you can't bend or break the rules. Like, you have to know what works and what doesn't, so you can decide what you want to use and what you want to disregard, because we've always got that choice, right? These are some of these strategies that I'm going to be sharing are going to be some best practices, but they're not the only practices. You can always do what you want to do. But I'm going to tell you just kind of visually, and this is based on math, it's based on science, how some of these details, some of these sleeves can add or detract from your body, and really kind of the effect that they can have. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to talk about is the sleeve style, like the style of sleeves, and how that affects how you look in your outfit. So the first thing I want to say is that if you want to look and to find the most flattering sleeve style, you want an angled or diagonal sleeve. Now, especially a diagonal sleeve that angles upwards at the outside and down at the inside, that is a really slimming sleeve style for every woman. So a diagonal sleeve as opposed to a straight across sleeve is always going to be a good bet when it comes to making your arms look longer and slimmer. So look for a diagonal sleeve, or have a seamstress or yourself, if you can sew, tailor that detail into your sleeve so that it's just super, super flattering. Okay, the second sleeve style tip is to proceed with caution when it comes to sheer sleeves. Sheer sleeves are they're tricky. If you have slimmer arms, if you're really comfortable with your arms, go for it with sheer sleeves, but they have to fit exactly right? They can't be so loose and baggy that it looks like elephant skin, right? And they can't be so tight that it looks like we're stuffed into the sleeves. So they have to fit really well, and they have to fit in a really elegant way. So sheer sleeves are, just something to proceed. You have to proceed with caution when it comes to sheer sleeves. There's nothing wrong with them. They just have to fit you right. The other sleeve that I want to talk about is the cap sleeve. A cap sleeve, big red alert when it comes to cap sleeves. Cap sleeves are possibly the hardest sleeve silhouette and sleeve style to wear, because they really do amplify the upper arm area. I'm going to get into them more when I talk about sleeve length, but it is the hardest sleeve for any woman to wear. I actually heard a stylist say that she doesn't think anyone over the age of 20 should wear cap sleeves. I was like, oh, that's harsh. But it really is the hardest sleeve silhouette to wear. Okay. The next tip about style is that voluminous sleeves can make you look voluminous. If you're wearing flowy, full, baggy sleeves, you can look flowier and fuller, and you can look like you've got more volume because your sleeves have more volume. So if you want the most flattering look, it's not always the most fun. Again, we get to pick and choose which of these tips we want to use and which we want to disregard. But if you want the most flattering look, you want a slimmer sleeve. A slimmer sleeve is always going to be more flattering than a full sleeve. So keep that in mind. There's a lot of full sleeves in stores right now. I love them. You really want to decide, like, is your torso and where the sleeve is going to hit, is that narrower? Is it broader? Like, how does it interact with the rest of your body? How does it look on your arms? How does it make your arms feel? And then you decide from there. But voluminous sleeves can make your arms look bigger, of course, and visually broaden your torso. If the volume is at the wrist, like you've got those, flared sleeves, then it can make your hips look bigger or your thighs look bigger, depending on where your arms are, like where that sleeve is next to your body. So keep in mind that adding volume on the side of your body is not always going to be your best friend, and you want to use it strategically. Next is detail I want to talk about is like a shoulder pleat or puff or some other fun sleeve detail here. Now, I talked about puff sleeves visually broadening you. Well, sometimes that can be a good thing. If you've got very narrow shoulders and fuller hips, then having an interest up here, a flutter sleeve, a puff sleeve, maybe a little shoulder pad, any detail up here is going to visually broaden your shoulders, and it's going to give you a really, really nice effect. So we can use like I said, we can use these strategies however we want to use them, but that is definitely an easy way to broaden your shoulders and add a little bit of balance to your body type. Also, a little flutter sleeve, besides broadening your shoulder, so keep that in mind for those of you who don't want to broaden your shoulder, but it's also really forgiving to a full upper arm. Unlike a cap sleeve, which really kind of hugs the full upper arm and really accentuates it, a flutter sleeve can really be really forgiving. It can just float over the arm. It doesn't hug. And because it's got just a tiny bit of volume, but it doesn't poof, like it's not structure, it's like softness, it can really kind of camouflage and also minimize a full upper arm. So in the same way that having a flowy skirt, you don't really see where your leg begins and where the skirt ends, it just creates this fluid and flowy and this movement that is really flattering. A flutter sleeve can do that to your arms as well. So it camouflages the upper arm. The flowiness makes the arm look proportionately smaller. Again, these are strategies and these are tips. You can use them strategically, however you want to use them, or you can disregard them. The last thing I want to say is if you want your shoulders to look narrower, now we talked about making your shoulders look broader with an interesting sleeve or shoulder detail, but if you want your shoulders to look narrower, then like a drop shoulder is going to be a great way to go, or a raglan sleeve or a dolman sleeve. Like those are going to be really good if you want your shoulders to look a little bit narrower. Okay, so that's sleeve styles for the most part, and some cautionary sleeve styles, and then some recommended sleeve styles that really can work for many of us. Now let's talk about sleeve length. I'm going to put up this little illustration I found on Pinterest. I thought it was so good. It just kind of shows you all the different sleeve lengths. And may I just draw your attention to a couple of my personal favorites. The sleeveless style, don't balk, I'll tell you about it in a minute. The elbow length style, this should be our new 3/4 length sleeve, in my opinion. The elbow length is a really, really good sleeve length. And then the long sleeve style, often zhuzhed so that it's a little bit higher and a little bit maybe under the elbow. So those are my 3 favorite sleeve lengths from these, and the ones that I find the most flattering, the ones that most of my clients reach for more often and have less drama around, right? So let's talk about these sleeve lengths and why some things work and some things don't work. Have you noticed that it's hard to find short sleeves lately? It's really hard to find short sleeves lately. I feel like, especially in dresses, I'm seeing all sleeveless styles and I'm seeing long sleeved styles. I'm like, what in the world? Short sleeves are hard. So sleeveless and long sleeved are where it's at when it comes to dresses right now. And so if you want to cover your arms, you're going to have to go with a longer sleeve, or you're going to have to go with a sleeveless style and choose a beautiful structured jacket. Watch my video about covering your arms. I'll link it below if you want information about that and how to choose the right piece to cover your arms. But really, I don't know where the short sleeve dresses are. They need to bring them back. Okay, if they're short, they're fluttery, like the ones I was talking about, the flowy, which can be flattering. And then they can also be puffy, which is a little dubious. So that's what we're seeing when it comes to shorter sleeves. Okay, first question. This is the elephant in the room. Are 3/4 length sleeves matronly? Are they frumpy? wispy? Are they too mature looking? Yes and no. Yes and no. So this is a hard question because it is the ubiquitous sleeve length on every shirt, on every website for women over 50. Like, just a rant for a second. Every single shirt almost has that 3/4 length sleeve. So it is becoming associated with a certain demographic. My demographic, your demographic, like over 40, over 50, over 60, the 3/4 length sleeve is like the sleeve, right? The thing is, it's flattering. It can really be flattering because it does lengthen and slim and do all of the things. So, and that's why we love it. But it can also be a little dated and a little bit frumpy looking. So how do you avoid that? You avoid that by choosing a really cool top that happens to have a 3/4 length sleeve. The other way you can avoid that is my personal favorite strategy. It's to buy a longer sleeve top and then just pull the sleeves up. Just pull the sleeves up. And then you've got the effect of a 3/4 length sleeve, but it's a cooler effect. Does it add a little bit of volume here? Yes, it does. It totally does. But, it's a trade-off. So you can decide what works for you. But I really like just zhuzhing my sleeves up. Doesn't work with every sleeve every time. You can use a hair tie if you want to keep it in place. But zhuzhing a long sleeve can give you that 3/4 sleeve effect, but also it's a little edgier, it's a little cooler, it looks a little bit more modern. Because 3/4 length sleeves can sometimes not look modern. So you've got to choose carefully when you're looking at 3/4 length sleeves. And like I said, that's the sleeve length for us, apparently. That's the sleeve lengths. Okay, slimmer sleeves will always be more slimming. Slimmer sleeves will always be more slimming. And a wider sleeve, or a sleeve that has a wider hem, like a flowy wrist area, is always going to add a little bit of volume and a little bit of width. So keep that in mind. Slimmer sleeves equals slimmer you. Wider sleeves equal wider you. That's not directly length related, but I had to throw that in there. Another thing to keep in mind is that higher armholes, and this is length related, especially with sleeveless styles. Higher armholes will lengthen your body and slim your arms. So that's another thing to keep in mind. Okay, cap sleeves. I told you I was going to get back to cap sleeves, and here it is. It is the least flattering length. It is the least flattering length. Again, it hugs your upper arm. It cuts your arm and intersects your arm in a really awkward place. If you're going to do a cap sleeve, at least make it diagonal and not straight across. A straight horizontal hem in a cap sleeve is like not good. And I have twiggy arms, and I sometimes don't like the way my arms look in cap sleeves. It just is an awkward length. I don't even think it has anything to do with our arms. It's just an awkward length. Okay. They make everyone's arms look stocky, cap sleeves. I just feel like that. Okay, sleeveless styles. Everyone needs to get over their arms. Everyone needs to get over their arms and their feelings about their arms, because most of you have lovely, and all of you probably have lovely and beautiful arms, and 98% of you are self-conscious about your arms. And I would just say, let's get over our feelings about our arms. Like, let's embrace our arms and start showing our arms. If you want to get like a firming lotion, Jergens makes one, Palmer's makes one, like Vaseline makes one. You can get them at the drugstore or at Target, like a firming lotion or a slight bronzing or tanning lotion that makes you feel a little bit more comfortable showing your arms. Go for it. But just be comfortable showing your arms. Your arms are totally fine. Your arms are totally fine. And sleeveless styles are going to be so much more flattering than a cap sleeve on your arms. So like, embrace your arms, and just, if it's hot out, just wear the sleeveless style, right? Like, wear the sleeveless style. No one is looking at your arms the way you're looking at your arms. We are always our worst critics, and we're always so hard on ourselves. So I would say go sleeveless, bare your arms. So much more modern than a 3/4 length sleeve. So much more flattering than a cap sleeve. Just show your arms. Now, you don't want to show your arms, and you're resisting me on this, then I would say a cool linen jacket or a crochet cardigan, like something cool and modern and interesting that adds something to your outfit. Maybe a lightweight tensile jacket can be a great way to cover your arms, and then do the sleeveless top underneath, because it's a lot more comfortable to layer with a sleeveless top than it is to layer with like a long sleeve top, especially in the summer. Okay, so that's how I feel. That's how I feel about sleeveless tops. Just wear them, just show your arms. Okay, if you want to go on the other end of the spectrum from sleeveless, long sleeve tops are my favorite, and the ones that cause the least angst among my clients. Like, everybody likes a good long sleeve top. Yes, it covers your arms. It also protects you from the sun, can protect you from a little extra AC. It's just a go-to for many of us. Obviously, in summer or midsummer, we may not want to go all in on the long sleeves, but long sleeve linen can still work. Long sleeve and a little bit flowier can still work. I love a long sleeve style because my shoulders and arms are always cold. So I just zhuzh and I just pull the sleeve up so it works like a 3/4 length sleeve, but it looks like a long sleeve, and it looks cooler, but it feels more flattering. So it checks all the boxes when you do that. So long sleeve really can work the best. They look modern and yet classic, and they still cover your arms. However, the only caveat with long sleeve styles is that they can make your arms look a little bit, depending, again, if you want them to be flattering, you want the sleeves to be slimmer. If the sleeves are not that slim, they can make your arms look a little bit fuller, and they can also make your legs look a little bit shorter because of where the wrist hits, right? So keep that in mind. Again, it's a trade-off. Maybe you would rather cover your arms and have them look a little fuller, and your legs a little shorter, and that's totally fine. But again, I'm just sharing these things with you so you can decide for yourself what works best for you. So the most flattering long sleeves are the ones that are fitted so that they avoid volume. And they need to be full length. If they're going to be long sleeves, they need to be full length. And then you just shush them like this. Okay. The next thing I want to say about sleeve length is to consider your body type. You want to pay attention to your specific body type. Where does the sleeve end? Where the sleeve ends, anytime you're drawing a horizontal line like that across your body, and a sleeve ending will draw a horizontal line somewhere. You want to pay attention to where that horizontal line is. Is that horizontal line intersecting with the peak of your bust? If so, you're going to be amplifying your bust. Is the horizontal line intersecting with the fullest part of your belly? Then you're going to be drawing attention to the fullest part of your belly. Is it intersecting with your hip? Then you're going to be drawing attention to your hip. So you want to pay attention to where the sleeve length ends and where that end of that sleeve intersects with your body horizontally. Okay, so it can accentuate, things that we don't want it to accentuate. I mean, granted, you're not standing like this most of the time, so take this with a grain of salt, but I'm giving you all the information. You can decide what to do with it. If you want to accentuate your bust, then go for it. If you've got a smaller bust, or if you just don't mind accentuating your bust and you've got a fuller bust like I do, then wear the sleeve right there, and it will accentuate your bust. So again, we can decide how we use these strategies. Now, if you have a defined waist, a sleeve that ends around your waist, maybe an elbow length, depending on, the length of your arms, but a sleeve that ends around your waist can really highlight a beautiful defined waist. So if you've got a defined waist and you really want to play that up, then definitely go for that sleeve that ends right there at the waist. If you have larger hips, however, you may not want the sleeve to end at the hips. So again, be strategic and really think about the fact that whenever we put a detail and where an item stops, where a clothing item stops, where a hem is always a detail. Whenever you put a detail somewhere, it's going to draw the eye to that spot. Okay, finally, if you have a full upper arm, you just find your upper arms full, like they are a full part for you, and maybe you're a little bit self-conscious about them, and you cringed when I told you to go sleeveless, although I think you're all beautiful and you should go sleeveless if you want to. There are two ways to address a full upper arm besides my lotion strategy. I feel like there's a cream to fix everything. Like, why would we do tricep curls and bicep things or whatever when we can just put creams on? Okay, if you have a full upper arm, you can either cover it with a sleeve and go long sleeve and zhuzh, go 3/4 sleeve but keep it modern, go elbow length sleeve, one of my favorites, or you can choose an angled or like kind of fluttery hem, which really, again, just creates a little bit of movement. You don't know where the arm starts and where the sleeve stops, and it creates a really flattering and slimming effect. So those are the two strategies. You either cover your arms or you use that diagonal or fluttery sleeve to minimize the arms. A straight hem on your sleeve will visually broaden your arms. every single time, every single time. So that's it. I know I covered a lot, everything you ever wanted to know, and probably some things you didn't want to know about sleeves, from picking the right style to picking the right length to how to zhuzh. Let me know if you've got any questions about sleeves, because I probably could do a round 12, round 25. There's so much more to say, and I'm trying to keep my videos a reasonable length. But let me know if you found this helpful. What are your biggest questions about sleeves? What challenges do you have finding things that flatter your arms? Let's discuss this in the comments below. As always, totally, I love you guys. I'm so thankful that you get to hang out, or that I get to hang out with you on YouTube, and that you've stayed to the end of this video. So definitely leave me a comment. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it. Subscribe so we can keep hanging out. Oh, and mark your calendar. I'm going to put the link in the description box, and in the first comment, I'll pin the comment to the top. But the next round of the free Closet Confidence Workshop series is May 13th. It starts May 13th, and you want to sign up for that. It's a free workshop series. I will do your body type, I'll do your color, I'll help you with all the things, and we'll be in a small private community and we'll work on it together. Can't wait to help you kick off summer in style in May. So join us for that. Love you guys. I'll see you in the next video.